the Yankopon ase bio se ne dom ne nado ne do ne humobro ne bambo nti da so etiase ne nenso aba side madi so mama men ko na men ko mute no quick yo enti enne topic no me manage ho pa na mahu se ngrofo bebre no mo so ani gi saade ho bebre na ha se subscribe. Appropriate screen time for kids. Appropriate screen time for kids. And yema hodo ben na ye appropriate ma titu yen nkoda na no motifie no. Ewo enne internet bibrabu so na ye mpanimfo kra no whether or not say ye ready say impact dey ba no betimi aso ano a. Enti ne no doctor Boampong be di anim na waboa yen wo saade yi ho na wa cheche yade a ehia am gidi say ye to ebo ase ne tasetase a be ye nhira ne nkoso amaye enti doctor meja akire ama na wasomu amaye ye mompaye yehu de wasibio bonsam enam ne paso timi sey nka internet nya de boni ana social media nanso nei no enya ye ma ne ye mpanimfo sunsusaso bra yesua hu ne men ye so sekekere na kan ye hu Yesu din mu na ye de wako ahye won sasefa no so piebie enani suma ye wadumti amen
Amen. Yeah, Pastor that's it. Doing say obebansa ya pon say.
Yeah.
You got there be ye.
Yeah, me get also bit member to her.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you so we have mo.
Okay.
Okay, sure. Bye-bye.
All right. Okay. Yo, ejidi for me fast akwanya so ama ye nyina ye ho akwa babium aba ene dwumadie so. Na say last week in akwanya is 2 weeks ago in akwanya esua bibi spending time with our kids. Na adusua we na ngasa na in two forms. Appropriate screen time. But mombo hun say me topic no addiction ka ho men drew addiction no. I'm only presenting on the appropriate screen time. Na idea in fact in here say yete ho asem yi. Na di say America could do ma ye wono. One of the most highly discussed and debated topics among our four today screen time. Na in sembisa aya na impempi many our four eta ebisa and say how much is too much? Just say what is the duration na ebreben na say nkwala no ana ye mofra no etna the various screens so because already is too much. And what impact will screen have on children's development? There's an instance and those screens now they spend too much time on. Now screens here make once maybe talking about phones, the tablets, the various games or more TV. Various TVs are maybe if that is the screens are making once. And I made all these growing questions. It could be a friend of World Health Organization. They've already issued guidelines on the amount of time young children should spend in front of screens. Ntomodi kan ama akwantre awofo SSA to me ediso. So the beya who say, okay, this is the right time in collaborate me spending on screens within a day. Now, awofo bebre media dance as a parent has never been easy. And yemre a mantity and a nyade at that form. But the wider spread adoption of smartphones and the rise of social media has introduced a new wrinkle to the challenges of the parenthood. Now, 2/3 of parents in the US say parenting is harder today than it was 20 years ago, with many citing technologies like social media or smartphones as a reason. And the woman say, and they yem we say we a mounted here enye adia say a dafom. Na enam sɛ nimdeɛ ɛkɔ n'anim a social media nso ɛkɔ n'anim technology internet biribiara ɛkɔ n'anim nti no awofo bebree a ɛwɔ America kurodua mu sɛ ɛnɛ mmerɛ ne mma nteteɛ ayɛ den as compared to 20 years ago ɔmo de toto ɔmo time a na ɔmo ɛnyini ne ho a na phones ɛnnɔɔso smartphones ɛnnɔɔso na yɛwɔ paid phones ayi yɛn a yɛnyini wɔ Ghana ne deɛ na yɛ ayi yɛfrɛ ne sɛn Okoto card na da kobo down na ɛwɔ ayi phones ayi a ɛbɔbɔ down to okoto card na sɛ ansana betumi kura afro bi ɛnyɛ ɛnnɛ a phones are too common and too easy to acquire no nti no many awofo no they are stating say ɛnam sɛ nimdeɛ kɔ n'anim a technology nso kɔ n'anim asɛ sɛ social media nso ɛkɔ n'anim as smartphones nso ayɛ too easy for our children to get access to internet. Ama emma tete ayedin. Now, nearly half of all children 8 and under have their own tablet devices and spend average of about 2.25 hours a day on digital screens. And the way in here movie could be and I no so we could be a woman Mofra modi in fie watching 8 years eba bears 2 years or maybe 3 years many of them have their own tablet me medi ho dance me mofra nketo a me wo no omo wo sa tablet anasa screens here you can wasn't be na me be adwen se krodo e mu de e kamia is efie bi mu or almost many of the children they have their own kind of tablets yeah or more share or more programs yeah the cartoons and other kind of kids programs now the I'm gonna say on average mofra no spend about 2.25 hours a day with those screens so now with many children having access to mobile device one of the questions posed to parents is when is it acceptable for children to have their own smartphone or tablet computer? And you know, and I'm saying more bebree these devices, tablet, mobile phones. No, I mean, some bisa aya na many mawufo bebree bisa ne say ebreben and a okay, the right age say phones and as a tablet ube to me ato ede ama uba. And Ebi say the ages of 12 to 14 seems to be a major milestone in parents' eye for smartphones. Sana wufo ni bi eka. Mo say in fear between 12 to 14 seems say okay. Say akola no ana ba no betumi enya ono ani phone. Now many parents believe it is acceptable for children to have their own phones only after they have reached at least age 12. Internal phone bebree feels that age gap between 12 and 14 seems okay. Say omo benya omo phones. So na medi kan no. Most of us are nyini wa Ghana ne de. Me sure say imu bo no me say yetwemu 20 years kranza na bia yanka si enya your phone. But you could do ma your way there. Even 9 years, sometimes 10 years, they have their own personal cell phones. But again, this abe a little bit of a debate among parents. Now, what majority can I say? They feel say at least between 12 and 14 years here. That is okay. But again, this can be very debatable. As no be a fee, anyhow, Ubia so will see this and as a Ubia reaction to this. Did the American Academy of Pediatrics used to recommend less than 2 hours for ages 5 and up? They're not more recommending say at least in Mofra or Modi 5 around 5 and 8, they can spend less than 2 hours on their tablets. But the woman said now they are moving away from giving specific hours because the reality is that most kids spend far more than 2 hours a day on screens. Ne nyinaa ne nkyerɛ mu no sɛ wɔn na mebɛyɛ adwene sɛ ɛberɛ a COVID baeɛ no a na school close schools no many public schools and I say many schools and I say cities they began to issue laptops. Ɔmo ma mmɔfra no mmɛtena efie na ɔmo sua adeɛ wɔ fie no nyinaa computers and laptops. And right away you can tell that to limit mmɔfra no to these hours to limit them to these 2 hours it became a challenge because they say to be honest, and I'm saying many of the schools assignments at the adina or a year emails and I say they have a platform. And definitely you realize that the kids it's likely that they will spend more than these times now. And again, this is very debatable because nimdeɛ kɔ n'anim a ɛkwan a mmɔfra nso fa so esua deɛ ɛwɔ yɛ school ma na nteteɛ bea no ɛnso ɛsesa no it is beginning to affect saa adeɛ na yɛka ho asɛm. On average, children ages 8 to 12 in the United States spend 4 to 6 hours a day watching or using screens, and teens spend up to 9 hours. While screen can entertain, teach, and keep children occupied, too much use may lead to problems. Nti deɛ ɛwɔ mu ne sɛ ɔka no nyinaa ne sɛ mmɔfra a ɔmo adi mfie between 8 mfie 8 ɛkɔ 12 no ɛmɛwɔ America kurodua mu deɛ mpɛn pii ɔmo sɛ between 4 to 6 hours on their screens. Now teenagers from 13 up in the they spend more, which is true. In many situations, teens, they are always on their phones, they are always on other social media platforms. But again, the able gonna say a woman say these screens say ho and na be your assignment and now mushi. Again, it can entertain, it can teach and keep kids occupied. But again, too much so almost sell more adaji was no. A bit to me and so akofa nsunsuansoɔ bebree ɛde abrom. Too much screen time can be linked to some of the nsunsuansoɔ when the kids spend too much time on the screens nsunsuansoɔ ɛde brom. Nti ebi ne sɛ too much screen time can be linked to irregular sleep. The more time spent watching on the screen, the more likely children are to have trouble falling asleep or have an irregular sleep schedule. Sleep loss can lead to fatigue. Now, the woman say, "Mofra or more tablets and also more phones." Sometimes they be a war for dream, and I say be a war or dying. Now, my friends are dying. Sometimes you might think, say, oh, makoda. But sometimes what happens is that moko them who picture here that's we. No more the blanket kurumuti no mushim. Then they spend the whole time on their screens. Sometimes they don't sleep early. They can stay awake till midnight and so on or mother. Meanwhile, the next morning, maybe no school, they have to get up early in the morning, like 7 and 8, or maybe early like 6. And I'm so they feel very weak. Especially so school now and they have to learn. They struggle to even concentrate or pay attention. If you say they need a lot of sleep, a minimum of 8 hours. So you can tell say one nantam sorry temple school. And I say they are sleeping maybe 4 or less hours. Now on the long run, some health implications may be and so and again, too much spending time on the screen. That is one of instances where behavioral problems. The home is a parent may not always know what their children are viewing. The children may be exposed to violent and risk-taking behaviors, videos of stunt or challenges that may inspire unsafe behaviors, sexual content, negative stereotypes, substance use, cyberbullies and predators, advertising aiming at your child, and misleading or inaccurate information. Na deɛ ɔmu no sɛ ɛyɛ na mpɛn pii nam sɛ ɔmo nko na ɛhyɛ ɔmo dɛm a na ɔmo hyɛ kukuo mu ɛrehwɛ ɔmo phones nti no many situations ayɛ na awofoɔ nhyɛ dɛ nnim adeɛ a mmɔfra no ɛrehwɛ ɛwɔ ɔmo screen so. Na nokorɛ wɔ mu no sɛ ɛnyɛ nneɛma na ɔmo hwɛ no nyinaa ɛna ɛyɛ adeɛ a ɛbɛboa ɔmo. There are so many videos that they can have access and also make me share YouTube and as a TikTok and as other various social media platforms and yeah they are a boa omo na if you say the more they get exposed to some of these videos sometimes it wins and so almost to the point that sometimes they get themselves involved in some behaviors and yeah they are a boa some of them begin to use drugs and also alcohol. Some of them begin to indulge themselves in other maybe to be honest and share ayana warm and share there have been many situations mofra bebre afa etuo de akɔ school and many nice as a result of what they've been viewing on the various screens they have access to. Sometimes they just want to practice what they've been viewing. Into a idea, as I said, as parents, we pay much or more attention to the screens that are more frano. Now, impaired academic performance. The children who spend more time on screens perform worse in school and tests than those who spend less time on screen. Nti deɛ na woman sɛ mmɔfra a ɔmo spend ɔmo adagye anaasɛ ɔmo brɛ ɛwɔ screens so no deɛ na woman sɛ in many situations they do not study. Ebia test for n'anim ɛbrɛ a ɔwɔ sɛ ɔkɔsua adeɛ no na ebia ɔte phones no ne n'adamfo bi ɛɛkyate na ɔne ne teste anaasɛ they just having a phone conversation. Bra ebia nkɔbɛsɛ n'adagye ana ɔbɛsua adeɛ no na ebia or they share movies and or they share some videos and they spend more time watching unnecessary things and I said near and shed that warm to the point that sometimes some of the kids don't even do the assignment near them and so fear they spend more time on the screen and they even forget they have assignment until on the long run it affects or more school the academic performance realize almost be the children are being the target of online predators, accessing sexual explicit content, accessing violent content online, or even bullied or harassed online. You won't say you were nipa bonifu bibra among social media and as more these platforms almost the more you say or more to the point is some of them try to date some of this more free. Some of them try to convince some of more free some best send or more naked pictures at the abram you nipa boni phone bibi ewo hosa omonsu juma omudian ana ebiom sometimes they get bullied ewo these platforms no so and again this is addition dear for all parents so we can make sure that we're protecting our kids from such predators, especially when it comes to your man logging on to some of these and as I said creating an account for themselves on some of these platforms as I said very very careful. careful when it comes to sa niyama ya. But the conversation around screen time is not limited to children. Parents themselves grapple with their own device distraction. When asked if they spend too much, too little, or not enough time on their phones, more than half of parents overall, about 56%, say they spend too much time on their smartphones and sometimes distracted by their phones when spending time with their own children. Into the arahuseme woman say, Adia ye can want some screen time for the kids no. I will for nankasa more or less, some are even more addicted. Into the woman say even sometimes a manu is free yen our phone. A lot of parents spend too much time on their phones. So if you know on the phone, either said they stay on the phone talking to somebody, and I say they're also watching some videos. And that your WhatsApp abe ubi video bia no also or send it bia say or share on TikTok na say video bia na say or send it into many our phones no young no. Say set a good example ama ya mano. Yankasa we spend too much time on these screens. Dana ya mano nso ehwe yen. No mo nso esua kakra efiri ho. In managing screen time. Nti akwan ben so ana ebetumi afa and making sure say we certain declare boundaries and rules around your mano screen time. TDD kind of say establish clear rules and set reasonable limits for your child's use of digital media. Establish clear rules and set reasonable limits for your child's use of digital media. As I said, utumi eshishamra a bit to me a limit obano wo kwanya or faso using the screens. Again, if so the any homework, yes, so the why not? But say or the videos in your man who here there. There should be some clear rules and reasonable limits so that they will not spend the whole time, especially a prayer school for the next 2 months. Definitely, so they will be spending more time on these screens. There should be some clear rules set around. Preview programs, games, and apps before allowing your children to view or play with them. Before oba better program be na games be na even apps be on be download on tablet no. As I say wo awofo no utumi hwehwem anase utumi hwe ehu se ade a oba no anase open ama aba na to anase wa download no e ade a ebe boa no nye se bia ode akra na pebema no no sign up anase download any games or apps bia ope. Use parental controls to block or filter internet content. Again, you better use parental control. Many devices are even the TVs, the cell phones, and the tablets. There are these options also are all for a bit use, but I host them say I for dodoɔ na ɛne nim saa adeɛ wei ebu akɔ yɛ mafra no koraa no ɛne mu gye nti ebu akɔ yɛn phones use koraa no kyerɛ yɛhia biribi a kyerɛ yɛfrɛ yɛn mma no ɛna ɔmo abɛkyerɛ yɛn. But again, you can always ask ebi a obi a onim ho nimdeɛ na waboa wo. Sɛ yɛtumi yɛ a ɛyɛ adeɛ a ɛbɛboa ɛno no saa no biribi biara a ɔba no kɔhwɛ a ɛyɛ adult content no. The moment you have that parental control, it will limit them and as a filter near a age appropriate mofrano and as a man a bit to. And again, ask your child regularly what programs, games, and apps he or she has played with during the day. Again, this goes back to the previous presentation I'm here, and that is spending time with our kids. As I said, utumi nya brɛ ɛna ɔba no di nkita ho ebisa no nneɛma a ayɛ anaasɛ ɛmfa sɛ ebia ne fie na wɔ adwuma mu nneɛma a ɔhwɛ games are wabo niema why exposed to. Sometimes our phone no bit me my friend phone now you just go through to find out the and now even fear the TV and now say programs you can go through to find out apps beer and say BBBR a view in your absence. When watching programming with your child, discuss what you are watching and educate your child about advertising and commercials. And again, if we actually spend time with our kids, that's it. Sometimes there are programs here between na say album no mahwe. Na bra mohwe no. To me akyerɛkyerɛ omo about the mohwe say commercials bi ba so na advert bi ba so na bi yade bi emoa ana say yade bi a ehu enhia wobetumi ene omo di saa nketa ho no de bia aye say awofo wobetumi nya saa bre no na wakyerɛkyerɛ oma ntina think say ye wo bre kakra ntina ha na mede madesua no ebesi ntino I think say pastor mo a enya ma ye die ye be ma ye obre kakra ntino ye be makwan so obi wo asembisa ananse obi wo contribution ana futu obi a ode be ma ye hie mu ha the ese ehunu say we nyina na eyadesua and many of these things are practical life experience ntino obi bia or platform nso a or ma ana watna krodio ma watete mofra de I'm pretty sure everybody can relate to idea ye kan ho asem it's my best say ye be makwan na say obi a owo question and answer emoa or person or the boa and ne dwumadi no or the beba tamunyi na ase.
Actually, to make a sakakra.
Pacho, yeah.
Yo, you be my pay, do I see bebre, radin show bebre. Ne dia wachre ye, my son tempi, me ba so no be so free me die. But last 2 weeks, dear no me tie kakra. I mean, so, but say, na pastor send my ya, a shasi in intino. Me tie bia na, we say a bomb, me said, the bubo, me nu anama, we so the contribution by na dia wo kan kakra me nya ya na metie nkola pa na wo ka se ebia to se 8 hon mo kono yebetimi de tablet na ma wo mo no se jama hwa awo na no eye adagye o awo na ya nti se ke ni adagye a eni kwanse ye wo kra na menye ne se nyame nso na obebu ye mfo se ebia wo so wo na wanwo asa wo bese obewu na wonya adagye na kola no ba be ye wo how society ni mu no aye o how kese pa ye ken now se twa ni hwem no fie no mo ha ya bo so wa wutu one na we na mo ha na we be ma so ha na oba so ha se si a mikro bese wo ba ko pa nka nya ne se ho kire we na me hwe ndin me bi na me hwe ne din na me bu na ni chie wo metiri mu din atene de me nyesa ehu sasa me kro pa no wo kan se krom ye wo ware ya ne hwe wo beka se wo am obi aba abagye akola no na ase wo betena wo ncha abeboa wa kusise akora no benyini nenuanom se ye ma no ya antete wo mo se de wo se tete wo ma awrade bebisa yen ya me kan se hia da agye pa na ye ayenya wo agum awie ndi ya wo agum na still no e wo se yenya adagye ipa se ye wo wiase na ye yen awofo ya krom ha ye ti ente se ye krom Ghana na wanfa phone ne ade enso amakola na asetena no wo hu se de wonsinya ne ho asa papa wo de obi ahye baabi na anigye de na wa capture wonje se ye wogye wo ho a sepa mu kra akɔhyɛ dem na wogye wo ho anye ɛwɔ sɛ wo moyɛ nkola mutumi pia bontin sɛ de Ghana na ye no no nanso akwanya ne ni hasa ɛna wiase no mu hu wontumi nya oba wodi agora wo bɛhyɛ kitchen na wo yade Nti odi agro no na ekọ wo ba no na eba. Oni ni na edi agro no. Na saa da age na ye de kọ ye adwuma, ye benya bidi ama wo mo ne de ye de ayeye den. Nanso yetnya afutuo ne de. Bible sem na ye nim ne de, nyame obu na ne guso. Wadom ye oniema bebre ho na ye hu ne de. Ye hye yense yensa kira ya dwen. Nti kakra bi a me nuanom a mo platform so ne wo mo achi wo betie nyina no ye betumi aye bia no ye nye. Na wiase bone nyina ya wofo bone. Ye ni adaje. Enye se aye o mbone bi o. Ye ni ajaje se de amrofi bebre no chemu abe 70%. Wo munya mo ho adaje no mo di agro na so ye papa e bakra na nkore pe be bi afa. Nti ne de wo hawo na aba. Ti se ye betumi a mo tena ade no ho no sade bra kan yetumi tena kire na yetumi hwe ne ma ekoso se ye no mo ye saa ne ma na nti na make say ya adaje no because say ye gina ye mo nye yi a me ba bi opie free ha say ya gina ne wo mu hu ba bi ko mo di phone no kra to afi eduru mra mpesa opie ekọ ba bi no won de okodi 13 na me de ma no na kama frɛ me say holiday na nka ya sama ma me omukoye parade na wasa me bae me ntumi nyina ho nkyenti ba fie se me bididi na me wie a me wie na makofa no se ba bi a me ne ko ye na different place from ba bi a omukoye ade no na me kan se me kofa no na me hwɛ se nipa beja me nkuta phone na he fa pote na me hu so gina na makofa na fe na se eho ahia senka me de phone ma no but ne nua no mo de asia ma ye hu ba bi e de ato enti se ye nya adaje di a de ye na no yetie ni na ne yekosa ye de mpaebo no e osi ehu ne sei ye ma no ye benya omo ho adaje na de omo hwe ne to bia me duru ho a me pie na me ba no ubonsu wa change because me se wonsua ade enti adesua ne dafa na ono so game no but se wonimu ye fast sene me enti me duru ho na afi ase de o change akwa adesua no enti me duru ho pem se dabi ma de wo ho na enwo so eye se ye na wo hwe eye sabre ye no edidi agro ye ni agro tententen na ma hwe se ede na wo hwe o ma menye o se we ade bi ba so we ye art ho ahwani tenuanum se ye nya adaje a me de metem bia me yusu so metwe ye di na wo behunu no na niema a wo nsusu se wotie wo hwe o no wa ye twam na so blame ne ye ya because ye ni adaje ne ya wo 3 4 5 ne de ka ho na da mo asilibre radisha.
Yeah, that's minimum demand. In fact, nyame shop in fact futu or the amai emede na me fact kakra nka ho emre bi minya kwan ne ewure bi din kuma aten se me ye sa adisuan ema bronze church na ewure bi platform no so na ono eka nisua hu no eye ono angasa ne fie a otim na ehu kakra na mede eba na enyina yedi ayedisua na nasma ka no oso ne Ghana fo bi nete na ye oba ne okunu no mba ba kope na unhu awofo no kra wo fie ho te so mbebe fie na ebia o mo bedware aseso mo no makwa adwuma nte kamia yeso no ye roommate no ono no kra na kamia yese o hwe o mo bana mo na se ba games tablet computer phone de bibia mato egu akra no jakola no onye free school ba not na computer ho a ana so fa game a obo game no a no akwhwehwe to tablet sa no afa ni phone na ni kuma no akoda odidi a no akoda adechi a no get ready no sana bus stop na this have gone on for almost like 6 to 7 years as you say aklanwo sa aklanwo be say 12 years or 13 years. I feel that all of a sudden I couldn't say on any mame ne papa ntenebi na ne mame ne papa try some best stop on so obewo mo sekan ekuomo as is akwana ni so aye head to the point say osinya mekora ni ho this is akwanhwefo asem na making nya mekora ni ho na sorry no kora nso obija iko na enuan mara hosam ne say awofo we spend more time ye adwuma yebetoto games nyina egu ye ma no ho ana pastor mo ataka asem we say ye japade ewe kurom esisi dan akese hoping say ye ma no ba kotene but no kra say they are not going to go with us. Now for the bebre na at the end of the day. Ya man tia ya bre say ye adwuma ebe piska ade egu omo ho say be omo so daachi besie no na ye nya bre amomo ntino bedru bribi no na botae pa esie no so sanke bi enke ma no betumi akomanim ewo omo omasua mu ewo omo nyamesom no enam se ye nya adaaje na de bia ye te adwuma mu anansa ya ma ye ni anko omo ho too much na ya mom too much freedom no more they are the mope and they've been exposed to so many false information into no a bedu baby no na afraid the kamia say ya bregu but then yes brena be a bregu but we could have resolved sa adeno and I bit me see no but nam say yanka say nya bresa mami di kan e kan into no a bedu baby no I'm sure ya ibenu ya ho but ebia na akwai too late. But kakra and if you akra meeting the Armenian and say it's never too late, especially in Mesusano. We have to begin to pay attention at what the omu piano. All right, I think so be up again. All right, Daniel, things so up and down, sir.
Let me share doctor the channel. Honestly, it just in phones, especially. Most of us in Colano is not necessary. Bible just that's it. Abofra kwan on fast no any when from. And yeah, phones not important for them. Maybe for example, like I say, phones na the mind or tablets is not really good for them. Maybe we school and but not this time they need a phone. They don't need it at all. Because me can't just crazy. And we have phones by this time. Elementary school, they don't need this type of phone and that stuff. And see, yeah, I just said the best idea is say, close, you must be close to our children. They be never been come on, they don't send anyway. That's how you must communicate. Mr. Training of the child, the way she grows. I was putting in this commercial maybe and a question the watch TV. That's not good enough. You must be close to your children. I was born one day, on paper phone, on my not another person. So it's better to not do that. The best idea is you should train them. Come on, let's cook for it, instead of a call here. The baby become a programmer. We name the baby and papa didn't come on. We have to say my program for this program is very amazing. And I mean communication, no. But for not about only being come on now, by child, no question them out. It's not good. And the tablet is not really good for children by this time. Maybe almost college.
Okay, all right. Yeah, Daniel, thank you very much for your contribution. Mr. Ramos, Ubibium was what on also de a crab account, say Asimbisa and I say a more na futu be or the Bemaya. Mr. McQuaw, be able to Miakasa.
Hello.
Yeah, hello, Pacho. So.
Pacho, my question can maybe survey.
Okay, yeah.
Mr. Wa say, be a wabo Freddy as to see a behavior in a way I who say be a or ya say come in the quote. And then yeah, ni submine nam it be a too much exposure with the internet and I say the computer or you see be a or develop a certain habit to be a in that sense, how do you go about it as a parent to help a parent not to avoid this kind of, because mpembe but how to go about it, and this requires to me manage more problem. Can say we feel home akola na as a wo bua no na fe na mo ani bi na eno no I'm one so aba be ye how Sade ne ebe abusua no mu ti mpacho the question is kwan ben na hu se oba sesa awofo no oba bema no mo beboa man akola no etumi afiri sa wo ha no e that's
Instrumentum so bi wo so obetumi aboa the sister wo the question ho. All right. So I think it's a few weeks ago, yeah, brother Bako, Uncle Joe, Patrick, a presentation be about after school program ne ade and as a summer program. It's in many situations when yeah man or sometimes when they are too idle and they have nothing else to do, that is when they stick too much to their screens. But again, when we try to keep them busy in a way, in many situations, I am not a boy. And what I can suggest, they say oba TBA, I don't know the kind of supervision you give Mano. But again, you have to begin to limit or more access to screens, whether phones or tablets, and answer whatever videos they've been watching on YouTube. That is where to start. You have to limit more, and again try to keep them busy by enrolling them in any other programs that you think say a beboa, like after school program or any kind of summer programs. Many of them are free. I think that the last time Uncle Patrick again sometimes a boa or more a lot. Yeah, but again, if parents don't have time and internet manner, yes, then you as a parent, you have to find time. Because the I no baby no yeah. Our phone ni adagin send ye mammy dikan can. Adagino that is the time you don't have. And internet many times we try to give them the screens, you to tablets mom said it to keep them busy. But again, if you have time you realize that you can limit the access to these screens, And again, there are so many programs you can enroll them. Unless say the super analysis and abeye too problematic to the point say your kuskumukura was starting encounter some problems. That is when maybe a therapy will be recommended. But say just idea and yet too serious parents a bit to me actually I think that the parents you have to make sure say you begin to get enough time to supervise and answer monitor on man and try to limit their access to screens. And if you can get them into other programs it will keep them kind of busier and also a bit me aboa. You say may you are some nanwa.
Ebi a mefa kakra bi nsoto. Ebi a sese oya be ma said the situation no say what can in general do. But say who ba bia a problem na e wo na e na boa ma otumi solve. Nti wo hwehwe problem na wo a say bibi wo na oya be ma na bia wo ma wo kuno emoma so e ho ba bia na wo so do bia kakra so a no so be boa. So your ban so a na wonim say the problem na etie no na no so no nso aso ho na ye kan na say wo hu sa ade na say de na wo say ye ntentem because edua say a etie a wotena na eden nti ye betutu amerika na ni adade bia na adwuma na ye betete so kwan bia be fa so a ye behwe say gina because yes say wo hu say bia ade no ko essay ebi wo ha wo hu kra na say asay no na ye din but wo hu say essay di se be ma no be tackle from bia na wo ba no so aso fa bia this is now with mpaibo no achi anso emu ye brade be boa. Yes.
Say sister no bisa question no. It may you ask some nanoa. Then also go so was for dear. So obi foforo ewo emmoa anase asembise bi em se mo join in atre no. And the topic I discuss no appropriate screen time for our kids. Say yeah mana or more phones ne tablets and also omo fie omo TV no. Say a bre almost say ewo sa screen season no. Here say awofo yetumi ema unicorn so that be ya omo say omo bre na so madaje nyina ewo screens so na because these screens no ewo nsunsanso kese ewo omo so eno adesua na na yesua na na nti se obi ewo moa ana contribution bi ono so person de boa moa modwane echi no nso metumi de modie na ba ekwan wo ho obi abetumi o metu no na wakasa.
Hello.
Hello mpacho so kasa.
Now can be say parents obi a connect obi a nifi. Some way different shifter. Ba ku bribia ba ku beofi. Na na ni wo akola no. Be mu nyina mo fie the same time. Elko be shia me fi say no eboa. In this sense no ba ku ofia obehwe ahu de ekoso. Na fe said they will be kind there after school program so no so boa. Inti bibia oye bia ebetimi aboa ma so hu de ekoso. Emu nyina mo some ye one shift I had in nyame aboa. Ebitimi ya no ebitimi ya wi ebitimi ya na adu. Boa pa. So e na adu no a omo ko a omo ko school nti mba no akofa homework no omo ye bia no omo fi. Now the other one so it me feel say no so boa. That's no see.
Yeah, my that's pa no crepa no aka na ara hosam kakra om say sa akwenye yo nyina wo homa but many people choose to do the double and the triple. So bu anadwuma be mienu miensa enan no akeka boso ofiri ha no owura ha ofiri ha no ofa ha enti no because America say many people can say America the basic up and again there are so many projects yasesa egu ye ho so no correct many people can plan some better work a different shift but again they will choose to do more hours over time no masesa egu omo ho so and intino again adusua kese ema ye nyina ye ma no ntina ye bre nti se yetumi nya adagye ana ebre emomo since ebe tutumika akope sika and at the end of the day no send yanke pese ye tete ye mamo level mu du no mondru a be se ya be mu bwana se ya bregu but we don't want to be in that situation and intino ya de here say ye nyina ye nya bre edema yema ma in fact me that's contribution on the band the strom so ubi biom also a ono so contribution and as a question on also a bit to media ba. I didn't say your sister Eunice what take kokakra na maybe say question no ye normal wa. I hope say okay yeah. All right, me do so be more contribution and answer a futu kakra or the bema ye nyina. All right, so I think say obi anhye den ni asem bi enti no. May wrap up a day yadisua no abewie no. Mene nyame adom yenya akwenya ama yesua bibi afa screen time the mesra no say yenya yetukrum especially krum ha yadwuma sam ne yamantete ne de we a nimdie edoso ekɔ nanim nti no mantete no emu ya den kakra ana ebiom nam se nimdie ekɔ nanim nso nti no ye edusua ahodo and as in tetia bia tetia mano schools no. Many of them additional assignments near they have to do it on these screens. And you know, idea there's no way say we cannot allow your mano to stay on these screens. They can, and I say they have to, because it's part of the channels are edition idea. But again, too much non so if you say many of them also spend time watching other Nyama MWA, they get exposed to some information and some contents are MWA. To me as a parent biano, as I said, one kasa to me a monitor on my fee to know say everything be or more will be is something that is very appropriate. Beboa or more. Enkanko ene omunyinemu ntine ha ene ne yede yadesua ne besi hoping say nyame adoma next week ye beto aso na ansa na ye be free ha kon mesre say ye maame na sister Eunice Mr. Wadaroma ommom paye emayen na umfa edwumede nyina mawiye na ye nyina ye free hanko.
After mpacho me dafe. We don beti dede kakra me maninti. Pacho ye bom faye. Ono kwa fu me bom faye da wase. E show din konkon so anyone ene don hwi mu. Adom ni sha di extra yen wo sama wonam. Enya panyi so e de ama yen. Esre nyansa ne nimje adumra na ode ma. Fadum yen bebre. About time for omom man penny for man ketwa na nanom for momunya enware ye enwo ye a wodi bebedo mo mo da chi se nimde papa fadom ye nyina wai papa ntumi nya fan show din konkon mu nyam se mo fe ye nhira wodi adom ye o se etumi hweso ye na wade da chi bi etumi gu hu konta papa wona bedom ye yo papa fadom ye wai yeso etumi nu afoforo so etumi ache sa nimde na ye se de enu apanyi shon sa se kosoma ni nimde e bro so ehunimu antiasi wo ma onso betumi daada nya obetumi ni ache asedan kan wudi papa so kan ye ho ye kwe kan ye ho na wotwe bo ye ho ban na wotwe bo fa e besi mi so adon we sa hia e beda wase okwafo no awurade na modo ye so sira ye sisi ni den nyina amen amen
Amen. Na nyame ma ye benda ye nyina ye ho ase. Nyame adoma next week ye besa to aso.